If you really watch my videos, say the thing I say at the beginning of my video.
You go, welcome back to the Philip DeFranco show. Today we got the news and I'm going to bed.
Everyone always mixes me up with Philip DeFranco.
Who am I talking to right now?
Nick is not green.
Oh, fuck.
And guess what day it is?
Hey guys, it's Monday, July 26th. And this is a new video on Nick's channel. Happy Monday.
I'll take it.
New Monday.
Late last night, I was sitting in the same office at 3 a.m. The first thing that popped into my head was to type in Canadian alpha male, just to see if there was something there.
Did I pop up?
Just do. Yeah, sorry. I know there's a disappointment initially. We have Charlie, who I don't think he's Canadian, but
yeah.
then you scroll down here, and then you got Jarvis. So you're still
what?
Yeah, you're still not.
That's
really,
bullshit.
Yeah, I don't know.
What's he doing on there?
He's not even Canadian. But
what the hell?
There you are.
So I guess Jarvis is more of a Canadian alpha male than I am, which sucks.
You have the Canadian part, but you must have no alpha male.
Jarvis is so alpha that he's Canadian.
Let's not mix things up and say that being alpha makes you Canadian.
Being Canadian makes you alpha, though.
Hell no. All right, and that's why you're number 15 on the list.
Is this why you brought me on, to humiliate me that I'm not an alpha male, man?
At least you're better than Jordan Peterson.
Yeah, I got that guy fucking beat. Suck it, Jordan.
Suck it, Jordan. Sorry if you're watching this, but suck it. So then I thought, I don't know what I thought. I was just scrolling aimlessly and kind of freaking out. And then I came across this channel called Rich Cooper Clips. This bald man has this podcast with 4 other white men, and they like to talk about relationships and stuff. I came across this segment he does on his show that transpired all of that. It's this segment he does where these guys will call in to his podcast and ask him about these scenarios in their lives, and he'll give them advice on the scenario they're having, mostly dealing with women.
Right.
And they're like on a video call, and it's very entertaining.
So he gives like alpha advice to these guys who need help. Okay, I got it.
But I'll start off with this one called Do Women See You as a Beta Male? It's Rich talking to this guy, Devin K.
Thank you for your time, and I will keep it brief. So since we've last talked, I've read Rollo's second book, Preventative Medicine, which is fucking mind-blowing.
So right off the bat, what kind of guy do you think this is?
From Rich or Devin?
From Devin.
Well, Devin already seems like a freaking beta, dude. If he says, hey...
Sorry, I'll make it quick. Please.
Yeah.
I won't take up too much of your awesome time.
He's got a button. You have buttons on a shirt for a reason, right? They're there to be used.
We know you have chest hair. I never liked chest hair.
I have 4 chest hairs, and that's too much for me. So this guy, but he's flaunting it, dude.
Keep it in your shirt, buddy.
What book did he say he read?
I've read Rollo's second book, Preventative Medicine, which is...
Rollo's?
I do actually know what this means. So he has this podcast with these 4 men. Rollo Tomasi is one of the guys on the podcast, and he's like the oldest one. He's been married the longest. Look at this guy. His hair.
Wow. Oh, wow. So that's a ponytail.
Yeah, he's also got a big cat tail behind his head.
And then a beard just...
Yeah, once you roll over to the y-axis, it's complete cleanliness.
Yeah.
But all the way
It's like
under.
a bottom of a boat.
So Rollo has a book too, but then listen to what he says about Rich's book.
And also rereading your book for the 4th time.
Big beta move.
Dude, who rereads a book?
Yeah, I can't even read a book once. And I get it if it's like, okay, you're Harry Potter, you're Lord of the Rings, this mystical stuff, and you're into that. But a book that's teaching you things, and you already learned them. You know how hard we work?
You know how much time Nick is going to spend editing this video, right? Because you will be doing this yourself, right?
This is the first week I'm getting an actual editor.
Whoa.
He used to be D'Angelo's editor. I picked up his scraps.
Scraps? Alright, asshole.
You know how much time I'll spend... Alright, let's get back to Devin.
I am practicing spinning plates, and I'm
Wait, literally? Or...
What did you write a book about, Rich?
He's sitting there in his house.
Hi, what did it say in chapter 4 about when the plates start to wobble?
He's yelling to his wife's boyfriend.
Please, I'm trying to keep the plate of French fries on both of these plates, and I'm dropping fries left and center, babe.
And I'm house sitting for a friend's place. Getting to the point, I met this girl. She was hot. She was on the lawn. I got.
Is on the lawn like a euphemism for something?
This means like she's, DTF, right?
Yeah, that's in chapter 5. By the way, Rich's book is called The Unplugged Alpha, and it's him standing on a slanted hill, I guess.
Wow.
Yeah.
We gotta read that.
My only issue is I just don't know where I could buy it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, do I go to a freaking local, like a bookstore, or a freaking Barnes and Noble?
And could I listen to it?
So I just put the book up to my ear or some shit? How's this work?
I got her information, and then when I set up a date on the spot.
I acquired her contact details. I figured out what her father does for work, and it was, I'm excited to light pipe.
And she kind of alluded to wanting to put me in the friend zone, but on the date, she was very touchy with me. There were indicators of
I think I might put you in the friend zone. I don't know.
How do you even allude to that before you're going on a date with them?
information, and then when I set up a date on the spot.
See, that's the issue. You set up a date on the spot. So the girl doesn't have the choice to say no.
That's the way to do it. Don't let them have a choice. That's the alpha way.
And do it on the lawn, too.
Yeah, if you're on the lawn, oh, man.
Don't even read chapter 5. You can skip right to freaking chapter 8.
At the end of the date, there was touching, right? Like I was in her space.
What the fuck, man? These guys are robots, bro.
Also, this is the longest amount, like the most words I've ever seen on someone's coffee mug ever. Oh my gosh, he's from Toronto.
No way.
15 minutes is $500? That's the cheapest you can pick. Dude, this guy paid $500 to ask him a question about the girl on the lawn. Oh my gosh.
He also had this whole thing about how, like, don't be a simp and stuff. Like, his whole thing is, like, simps are bad, but he's got a whole bunch of simps after him, dude. All of his fans are simps for him.
Tactical soap?
The fuck is tactical soap?
Rondike soap.
I found myself back in the dating scene after about an 8-year absence, and it was a little bit daunting, I'll have to admit.
Oh my god.
Who was a single guy and a serial dater. He suggested I try pheromones. Well, I thought he was kidding at first, but turns out he wasn't kidding. And so I started trying pheromones. Long story short, I became a user of pheromones.
What are the reviews?
So it's a stick.
Can you check the reviews?
Yeah, let's check out the reviews. Huge Sexy Turn On by Sweet Addiction. I bought this for my boyfriend to use, and when he put it on, I noticed that I was instantly turned on. It smells super sexy. I'm honestly amazed at how much I love this scent on him. It really works. Guys, if you're trying to get women to notice you, then get this immediately. Wow. See the other side of the spectrum? Has no effect whatsoever. Oh my gosh, I work with almost an entirely female staff. Wore it absolutely nothing different from usual. Tried wearing it with women that I already know liked me, and I'd say they seemed, if anything, less excited than normal. I do think there are definite chemical signals involved in attraction. That X factor beyond the rational and the physical, but whatever it may be, these products are not it.
Oh, that's so funny. Like, genuinely thinking he would show up to work and he would just get, like, dog-piled by girls.
Doesn't work. No noticeable improvements. Wife didn't notice.
Oh, no, man. That's so sad.
Wow.
Wife didn't notice.
The subject line is swag juice. I picked this up from an Amazon locker downtown, and I opened it immediately and tried it on. 2 ladies were right behind me waiting to use the Amazon locker and complimented me immediately on how great it was. Dang, that was fast. I feel like I have superpowers now. LOL.
Yeah, this is that swag juice.
Good middle-of-the-road pheromone cologne. My guy wore it to a small gathering. And to be honest, it seemed everyone wanted to be around him. He definitely had people hanging around him like kids gathered around a campfire waiting on his story.
What the fuck? Usually I think products like this are BS, but this stuff, I can truly say, be careful. Day 5 of using and I am exhausted. Oh no. My wife has been turned up to 100 to the point I'm not wearing it just to get some rest. Holy shit. Now I can't say it will work for everyone, but me it's like, I can't put it in words. Wow. No lying. She's getting on my nerves. Holy shit.
She is getting on my nerves.
She's getting on my nerves. She will not stop fucking me.
And it occurred to me while they were making the soap in Fight Club, I would like to make soap And what better way to deliver your pheromones than in a bar of soap? You get it first thing in the morning. You get it first thing before you go out on the town.
Yeah, you take a shower, you eat breakfast. Okay, I gotta go take my out on the town shower.
I enlisted the help of a clinical psychologist who was an expert at pheromones. And he mixed me up a formula based on the character of Tyler Durden.
He made a soap based on the character of Tyler Durden from Fight Club.
What? How? Are there certain smells that have to do with certain like psychological traits?
And then they ran out, they wanted more. So I realized there's a business here. So I got some packaging, I got a website, and it started to sell.
Show us the soap,
Then-
man. Well, he's just walking in a forest.
We have Durden, which was our flagship formula. We have Bond, and we have Maverick.
Bond and Maverick are from like two like big action movies, and Tyler Durden's like not like an action movie star.
There we go. Okay.
So Continental Musk is the Bond one, Cedarwood is Durden, and Clean Breeze is Maverick.
Continental Musk. Those two words should never be beside each
Yeah.
other. That is so gross.
I don't like that at all.
At the end of the date, there was touching, right? Like I was in her space. And then I went to kiss her and she's like, no, I don't want to do that. But then she said, I'd like to hang out with you again. Am I being put in the beta, or is she saying
The
no,
medium's
not
a
yet?
message, dude.
Yeah.
The medium's a message.
Oh
I mean,
my god.
Wait, what is going on?
Yeah.
the medium's a message. I mean, if you look like Giga Chad Thundercock, she would have jumped your bones.
This is our first time hearing Rich. And he started out by saying, if you're gonna look like Giga Chad Thundercock,
Is that a real man?
it's one of the guys on the podcast. You have
Yeah.
Rolo, Rich, and Giga Chad
Giga
Thundercock.
Chad Thundercock, yeah. He's constantly getting his wiener sucked.
Yeah,
on
during the
pod.
pod.
Women that start making, rules for men and, I like you, I'd like to see you again sort of thing. I'm not ready for that. I have an 8-rule date. I have a bit in my book about the girl with the 8-rule date who 15 minutes into the date, and a few sips into the drink was telling me she doesn't bang anybody until 8 dates.
What lives do these people live where they're just like so disconnected from like a real human connection,
It's always so like scary to watch these because they try to like rationalize everything in the most like weird way that doesn't make any sense, and it's like really damaging. It's like if she found out if you were calling some guy about it, she'd be like, okay, fuck off. I don't want to talk to you again.
I'm going to listen to a little more of Rich's advice, and then we'll quickly move to the other contestants.
And
Yes.
then 15 minutes into it after talking to her, she wanted to take me to the bathroom so I could have my way with her, right?
Any guy who says have my way with her should be everyone should do everything in their will to keep them away from women.
Yeah, it's the 1500s. Come on.
You should definitely always early on or as early on express your sexual interest in a woman. Alan Roger Curry has a great book called Mode 1. It's linked in my Amazon bookstore. Have you read it?
Brother, this guy stinks.
Stop reading books.
All right, what's shaking? What can I do for you, bro?
How's it going?
Nice.
First of all, this is okay. I watched the first 2 seconds of this and I stopped, but the first thing I noticed is that this guy looks like he has like the Snapchat baby filter permanently on his face.
So I have a question so there's somehow you value men, and women obviously desire them. So why is it that some of them, when they desire them, they end up getting pissed off that they're alpha or red pill and these men are expressing it to them, and they act surprised that, these men are like this, is when in reality this is what they want, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, I know what you're saying. So what you're basically saying, if I can paraphrase, is they find the guy that they like, but what they end up doing is they dislike the personality that created the alpha that they want to bang.
Yeah,
essentially.
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I understand. Yeah.
Well, this guy painted on his beard. I refuse to believe otherwise. It's like he sharpied on that beard.
If he's like the final evolution, he's like the Blastoise. This guy on the right is like the Squirtle, It's like he'll get there one day.
I'm assuming his question relates to a real life experience, is that he started dating a girl based off of his alpha personality that he has accumulated. And, once he started dating the girl got pissed off. His woman beta-tized her alpha male. She treated him like a beta, because of the alpha personality.
You could do that?
Yeah, and that happened to this guy right here. You can tell his partner is upset at him because of just how alpha he is.
And it's just a function of the way society is today. Aaron Cleary wrote a good book.
God, enough with the books, dude.
We can't read. Jordan Peterson beat you out this time. He's up here next.
He's still at the top. Fuck.
The title is Never Put Women on a Pedestal.
What can I do for you tonight, brother?
Beautiful, man. I just wanted to let you know I've been watching your stuff.
This guy's recording on a TI-85 calculator. It's one of those
Yeah, he's
things.
recording a live video on a Game Boy camera.
Yeah, and he's got his Elgato plugged into it.
It's taken me a long time to get over my one-itis. Like, it's just been crazy.
You're 31. When did you guys split up?
I was 17 years old, and
So he's 31. And listen,
Okay.
breakups, they're not great. You know, no one likes them. They could really hurt someone. I'll hear him out. He's 31, and he's talking about a breakup that happened when he was 17.
Oh, okay. Wow.
14 years later.
I was like kind of like Rolo, you know, Rockstar 20s, but
Yeah, I'm interested in this Rolo guy. He seems like a fucking stud, dude.
He seems like Giga Chad Thundercock.
yeah, she just basically love bombed me, came in and just swooped me right from the cradle. She's like 22, a little older, you know, and yep. And
So why are you holding on to that for so long? Like,
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's like I feel like I might still be in love with her, but then get this, dude. She calls me back like just recently, probably actually a few years now, but like at 12.
It's not recently.
She talked to me pretty recently. It was 5 years ago, but it's, you know, in the grand scheme of things, you know, the grand scheme of the existence of the universe, that's pretty recent, right?
Yeah, this guy's either living like 5 times as fast as us because his breakup is taking 14 years to get over, and then this girl called him recently, which was a few years back.
Like married, 2 kids, you know, and just looking at me like a sad dog at the table. Like just, I couldn't even, like, I was just like, made her go to the store and get me a 6-pack because I couldn't even handle it. You know what I mean? But
So what happened here is he's 17. I'll lay out the timeline here. He's 17. She was 22. There was a breakup there.
Right.
12 years later, he's 29. She's, what was she, 5 years older than him? So she's
5 years
34.
older.
She's got 2 kids.
Right.
Shows up to the house with the 2 kids, begging for help, looking like a puppy dog. She's got her 2 kids. He goes, "Get me a 6-pack. I can't handle this right now." He makes her go to the store.
as you get in your 40s and your values increase, you've made money, you've taken care of yourself, you know, you look good. You know, women vie for your attention, men, you know, admire you, sort of thing. You might get into a relationship with a woman over a long term, over a short term, for a lifetime. Who knows? Maybe she's special. Maybe she's not. But don't ever think that somebody's not replaceable. Everybody's replaceable.
Yeah.
And that's true for
Don't put anybody on a pedestal, and, except for me, Rich. Except for me, Rich Cooper. I am on the pedestal.
Let's just say if a woman doesn't let you have your way with them, then they're not really worth your time.
I feel for this Nick guy because it seems like he's, you know, he's really like hurting. He's having like an emotional problem. You should like go to like a licensed therapist, perhaps.
That's a
Don't
good
pay
idea.
$500 to some guy. Well, I mean, I guess that's what therapists are. You're paying to some person, but they have knowledge. All right.
$500 will
know.
get you probably 1 therapy appointment, honestly.
That's true. That's why his name is Rich, because all these people give him money.
Maddie's got a girl with a red flag that he's thinking about marrying. All right.
Okay, the moment you call a guy and pay $500 to talk to him about a red flag, don't marry her.
If it's that big of a red flag, yeah.
What do you got for
Hey,
me?
bro.
What's shaking?
So nervous. Every guy's so nervous. It's so funny.
I've known her since a year
Okay.
or year and a half. She turned out to have daddy issues. Her dad cheated on her mom, and he didn't divorce her. He just left her there living at her parents' house. She's super, super, super jealous. Today, actually, something happened. We were having dinner, and I wanted to show her a photo on my phone. She saw that photo of me and that chick at the presentation we were having, so she just got silent, and I tried to make a conversation, but she kept saying short answers, and she left. And half an hour later, she called me and she started crying like a little kid.
Really compassionate guy. I like that.
Yeah.
Started fucking crying like a little kid or some shit.
Also, like, why is he airing out this girl's like family history to this like guy on the internet for everyone to see?
She gets really jealous. Also, her fucking dad cheated on her mom. Why does that have to do with anything?
Crying about, put yourself in my shoes. Imagine if you saw me with a guy. What would you do? What would you do? A normal picture at a presentation.
Dude, she's got some trauma from her childhood because
I don't like this anymore.
It was a normal picture of my wiener and someone else. It's fine. I don't see what the big deal is.
Let's start with the good stuff. So what are the pros of dating and when I'm saying dating, like I'm not saying like, she's a plate, she's a friends with benefits. Like I'm talking about like you're dating.
A plate.
Oh, spinning plates.
Yeah. So
That's
maybe the plate represents
a human girl.
Oh, a plate is a woman who is used for the purpose of sex.
Okay.
And an OTPHJ, obviously, we all know is an over-the-pants hand job.
Of course.
Distant cousin of the dry hump.
With dating, I assume that you're wanting all of the benefits of the messing around in the hookup phase, right? So you're wanting some of those benefits. So,
why do they call it that? Like
they sort of like simplified it into this step, like this like fucking 3-step process or something, and like with labels on everything and like and it's nothing like that. I've said this before in like other videos and stuff, but it's like every relationship is like, and every person is different, right? I'm also not going to fucking read a book about it, okay?
Yeah.
Because I don't know how.
Some of them are competitive and go to the gym because they're that type of personality, female alpha personality. I laugh when women call themselves alpha, but
I'm an alpha female.
When a woman calls herself an alpha female?
I have to laugh. Only I can be an alpha female, you fucking asshole.
They can have that where they put themselves together. They also, here's a pro.
Wait, what's going on the screen? I'm confused. What is this in context to?
Married to a doctor. Massive trouble holding. What the fuck does that massive trouble holding phrase? And they're not even talking about that.
Yeah.
They're not even talking about anything. What do they just comment that out of the blue?
They have money, so they are not looking necessarily to leech off yours. But put a pin in that. We'll come back to that.
The moment you start worrying about like whether or not someone is just dating you to like leech off your money, you're just like, you're not in the right place you're not looking in the right place for people.
Yeah, exactly.
Almost every guy has been told the lie that you want somebody who's similar to you, who has similar interests, right? So a lot of times they'll do shots with you at the bar, right? You'll go out and they'll drink whiskey with you. They'll go with you and your boys to the club or the adult club if you want to. A lot of times they'll be down.
The adult club.
That sounds awesome, right? A girl that does bro stuff. Whiskey at the bars, shots, adult club,
sucks your dick a bit, huh?
Bro stuff.
Yeah, it's the guy stuff,
Yeah.
Over the pants hand jobs.
OTPHJs. That sounds awesome.
Cousin.
Well, let's hear why it's so awesome.
I mean, the thing with professional women is they get into these professions and they tend to compete in the space. They compete with a lot of men in the legal profession. For example, in law firms, it's mostly male dominated, but what ends up happening with a lot of women,
feminist king Andrew Esquire.
Nice, Andrew, our feminist underwater king.
But what ends up happening with a lot of women when it comes to law is they typically go and work at the law firms. They might become an associate. Some will work all the way up to partners. I don't know what the structure is in the U.S. Is it associate partnership?
Exactly like that. So it's a pyramid, right? So at the bottom of the pyramid are, well, I guess the bottom you could say is the
You're
paralegals.
basically the fodder. You're just like the new guy.
But
you get to do all the research.
Yes, associate, your fodder new guy, and then you have your junior partners.
These guys can't help but get back into business talk.
God, are we gonna mention a fucking book or something?
Talk about a video games.
Yeah, talk about a fucking cartoon, bitch.
So what do you think you learned today? Is my question, I guess, for you.
I learned that bars of soap can make your wife horny as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
And that's sort of awesome to me. I've also learned that it is very alpha to spend $500 to ask an unqualified person a question. I've also learned that books, I I've just learned about books now. I haven't really given them the time of day, and then I'm sort of being introduced to them today.
Yeah, there are a lot of books.
Nick, can you turn around for a second?
Hey everyone, thanks for watching that video. If you guys liked it, hit subscribe, smack that little bell, and go check out Kurtis's channel. You already know who he is. He's got a podcast, he's got a main channel, he's got a gaming channel that I used to edit for. All around, great guy. Wouldn't be here without him. The guy gave me my first job out of college, so yeah. You better, I kind of owe him. Check out the second channel if you want to see my review on all of the tactical soap that I bought in this episode. I need to make back the money in AdSense, so go click on the link in the description or right here. It should pop up right now. Patreon.com/nickisnotgreen if you want to check out the monthly sticker club. Twitch.tv/nickisnotgreen if you want to see our nightly streams, which will begin very shortly once I get back from vacation. And at nickisnotgreen on Twitter and Instagram. Go follow me. Tweet, hey loser, at nickisnotgreen, and I'll like the tweet. I'll try to like it. This week's Gamer of the Week is Oliver Orozco. If you want to be the next Gamer of the Week, you just gotta comment on any one of my videos, and I think that's about everything. Okay, bye.